Hello folks, RC62 here coming from you from Studio C. I had a request from one of my subscribers, Familyandlinks, to show how I have my audio set up for my helmet. On Saturday the 28th I recorded actually all of the videos that I posted last week, about 7 of them I do believe, and everything just seemed to come together. The audio came out very well. The video came out pretty good, and I actually had some topics to talk about, and hopefully I can kind of replicate that going forward. But to answer Familyandlinks questions about my audio, as most people should already know if they've watched my videos, I'm using the ContourHD 1080p, and the audio on that camera, since it's mounted to the side of the helmet, picks up a lot of wind noise as you start moving. So I also have a Zoom H2 audio recorder, and I have a Olympus ME15 microphone, which I've put a little bit of foam on there, that I shove up in my helmet. Now the Zoom H2 is a very nice audio recorder, but it is a little bit thick and it's a little bit heavy, and honestly, if I had it to do over again, I would probably get one of the smaller Olympus models. I bought this one because it is a very good audio recorder, and I plan to use it for some other things as well, for music and such, because it records not only in stereo, but you can also record in full surround. The Zoom H2 has 4 microphones, 2 on each side, and they're directional, so that you could literally sit this in the middle of a band playing and pick up surround audio with it. So it's a pretty cool audio recorder, but for motovlogging purposes it's a bit heavy, and well, honestly, I kind of wish I had gotten a smaller audio recorder, but this is what I have to work with, and I typically turn that on and stick it in my pocket. Syncing up the audio and the video is actually not very difficult. All you need to do is make a movement which will coincide to a sound that you can link up when you're doing your video editing. In my case, sometimes I'll count down 1, 2, 3 and clap my hands, and that clap will make a nice loud noise both on the contour cam as well as within my audio setup, and I can kind of sync those spikes. Another thing that works very nicely, if I forget to do that, is when I open and close my visor, because it makes a clicking sound. So anyway, all I've done with this little mini mic is I took some foam, like such, and I cut out a little chunk and I taped it around the mic, and then I took some scissors and trimmed it down till it looked like a nice little windscreen. Now if you want to spend a few bucks, you could actually buy little windscreens for these things. I did not put the foam on it primarily to cut the wind noise, but because when it's sitting in my helmet, it's literally shoved up against my face, and this just gives a little bit of comfort. In fact, what I originally did in my helmet, if I can show folks here, is I had, let me get to the correct side here, I had the microphone shoved right down in here behind the pad, and there's not a lot of insulation in this section of the helmet, and I was picking up quite a lot of wind noise. So that was a very bad thing. One thing that I did more for my hearing than for the wind noise in the audio is I took a piece of this same foam and I sliced it literally in half this way, and I shoved that down behind the foam in the helmet, and it's helping a little bit. But what I'm doing with the microphone that is different, and that seemed to really work. In fact, it worked so well that I was worried people would think that I had overdubbed my videos, because below 30 miles an hour you get almost no wind noise at all. But it's quite simple. I go ahead and put my helmet on, and this is working out very well, because when I had this down behind the padding, I had to coil up the cable and shove it back up in here to keep it out of the way when I wasn't using it. And I also had to keep taking the padding out, which the little snaps are starting to wear. All I'm doing now is literally I'm just kind of holding this up here, letting it sit about like that, running the cable behind and up under the strap. I close the helmet and I kind of keep this up a little high until I get that fully closed, and then I just kind of poke it down to where it's sitting almost right in front of my mouth. And I know you can't see that there. There's literally very little room here. The front of this helmet sits very, very close to my face. And what this is allowing me to do is, with the zoom recorder, I can keep the gain much, much lower because the mic is literally right in front of my mouth. It's sitting right here, and it's pressing. It's a little bit irritating because it does push up against my face, but it's not horrible. And I rode around for an hour Saturday the 28th and made those 7 videos, and it worked perfectly. I hope I can replicate that next time I go out vlogging. And again, it's easy to take out because it's not shoved down behind the padding of the helmet. So I hope that answers Family and Links questions on what I did with my audio and how I've got that set up. And again, as most people know, I'm using the Contour camera, and that's stuck on the side of the helmet. I've got that kind of dialed in to where it's getting good videos at 60 frames per second. One other thing that I did so that if I do detach the camera from the helmet for the little mount here, is I took a little bit of white out, and I made little white marker points, so that if I ever take this out, this whole piece here comes out and this part stays attached to the helmet. So you can move this mount to other of the V-holder mounting brackets. But in order to put it back in the exact same notch, I've marked it. So anyway, I hope this video helps. If anybody has any questions, I'm more than happy to try to answer them. And this is RC62. I hope everybody had a great weekend, and talk to you later. Thank you.